cheating wife got upset that I dated another girl. Why? Married 12 years, together for 15, 2 children, 8 and 5. We've worked opposite schedules for years, me in the day, she at night as a waitress. This was so the kids wouldn't have to be in daycare. She's always been very insecure, basically accused me of cheating our entire relationship. I never once did. I grew tired and resentful of always having to defend my faithfulness. But I remained a committed, loving husband. Ever went out, always let her sleep as late as she wanted, and I'd take care of the kids. November 20th was my daughter's birthday. I'm at work, in the middle of a huge high-pressure project. She texts me, "I can't do this anymore," and she proceeds to end it via text on my baby's birthday. I said okay. She then changed her mind, begged me to work it out. I initially said no, then eventually relented. She said, "I'll quit the bar, go to counseling." I said okay. She went to get ready for work, came downstairs and said, "I can't do it. You much pressure," and left. I texted her, "Is there another man?" She said, "Does it matter?" Really. She admitted to it. She had been sleeping with an old school friend who started frequenting her bar. Turns out he's a real winner. He pricked so fast, and because our iPhones are synced, he was in my contacts. His thumbnail pic, there's the two of them kissing. Got it. So we separated. Agreed on split custody. As a knee-jerk reaction, I went out immediately and started dating. She told me it had been over at this guy for a while, but she slept with him again once during our separation. She got tested for STIs and is clean, thankful for that bit of mercy. Her reason for the affair was that she felt emotionally abandoned by me. No passion, just roommates, blah blah, the usual. I suppose. She thought I didn't love her anymore. We kept things civil for the kids, no fighting. Dukamo. She said several times that she tried to think of ways to make it work, but she knows being the man I am. I could never forgive her for cheating, and she couldn't live that way. I said right. I ended up dating this Irish gal. I'm a musician and did very well in my few weeks as a single guy. No problems there. It was fun. Well, it masked the pain. On December 21st, I ended up sleeping with this woman. The next day, my wife texts me, "Did you play last night? Did you go out with a girl? Did you sleep with her?" I was honest. She lost her cool. Oh, the irony. She was a mess and I'd told her to come over and I'd take care of her. Just offered comfort, support. She wasn't angry, just devastated. Next day, she tells me she felt my love again and felt so safe with me. She asked if I thought I could ever forgive her and will I fight for a marriage. Long story short, we are back together and counseling. She is looking for other work. Our passion is back and we've reconnected, a lot of lovemaking, talking, making time for each other. It's been great. She hit rock bottom, said she was out of her body, didn't care about anything, and was on self-destruct. She has real issues from her past too that caused her insecurity, father abandonment, and sexual abuse stuff. Her sister, not her. But while she was in the same bed, she is going to go to a therapist on her own too. She has constantly expressed true remorse, guilt, and shame, and she's fearful I'll change my mind and leave her. We're working through that stuff. I do believe we have what it takes to come out of this stronger and closer. I need to make changes too. She said the turning point was a few months back when she came to me with a list of things she needed from me. 1, flowers once in a while. 2, more affection and attention. 3, help around the house. Because I was resentful of the cheating accusations. I said no, I wouldn't do those things. She said that's when she turned away. But I am having a hell of a time dealing with her infidelity. It's brutal, as you all know. I think I'm doing good, then it comes to mind, and it shatters me. I did all this reading about forgiveness, and are you man enough to forgive your wife's infidelities and the power of letting go? She goes on about how amazing I am, what a strong and kind man I am for giving her a second chance. But man alive, is it hard? I've made the choice to reconcile. She's thrilled, the kids are thrilled. I hate not having control over my emotions and the pain. I still get struck with disbelief, bewilderment that it actually happened. But does it get easier? It'll never go away. I know that. Am I weak for taking her back? Am I a fool? Is it my ego that makes me question? This ducking sucks. Amens. You're not weak. You're trying to protect what you have. You would be the fool if it happened again. She needs to heavy lift. Dude, every day until you are satisfied. That could be a long time. Does it get easier? In some respects, yes. I think a different problem exists in regard to her being an H. They run with a rough crowd. Hopefully for you and your family's sake, that person is gone forever. You for sure don't need that headache on top of a heartache. So make sure you read the newbie stuff. I did. It will help. I'm sure the vets will chime in soon and give you more angles and perspectives besides my 2 cents. Good luck. Responds, the only saving grace, yeah, right, is that they were friends since elementary school, so it wasn't a random thing. They were actually boyfriend and girlfriend when they were kids. She hid it from everyone, although some people at her work figured it out. They all detest him. She got a couple of them telling her if she ends up with this guy, their friendship is over. They are all relieved he's out of the picture. The bouncers have been instructed not to let him in. She had a job interview Friday and had another one this week. I talked to her again last night and reinforced that she has to leave. She even got a reference letter from her boss, who thinks she should go too. If she doesn't leave that job, I'm out. She knows this. She's humiliated and embarrassed and swears up and down it's all on the table. He's gone, and if she hears from him in any capacity, she'll tell me. Every person in her life saw her slip away, completely change. She was doing coke with him. She's been off work for a week, and when not with me is with the kids, so I know where she's at and she's not using. She's canceled several shifts to be at home with me. I believe she is genuine and remorseful and has left that all behind. I've known her for 15 years. I guess that means sweet duck all, being as she cheated. But she's back to herself. She's putting in the work. I'll keep a close eye on things. She knows this is her one and only chance. I'm at the point where I could walk away today and be great. I have an amazing career, and I have an avocation as a musician, songwriter, and confidence. I am choosing to reconcile because I think we can, but if anything goes down that I'm not 100 cool with, I'm out. She knows this. I've made the choice, but man, it's a hard pill to swallow. I won't ever be hooked. I love my wife and I'm willing to work this out, but I'll drop her like a hot potato if she betrays me on any level. Like to now or 20 years from now. She knows this. This is her one chance. I would do just fine. In fact, great. Without her. I will never forget that. And neither will she. If she does, I would consider myself to be a good guy, not necessarily a nice guy. In that context, getting out there and picking up women was good for me. It showed me how confident I am and that I have no problem getting women. Until she begged me to fight for us. I was going to happily continue being a player. And if she ducks with me again, that's right back where I'll be. And I'll enjoy every minute of it. I had 5 different women going on within 2 weeks of separating. Only slept with the one, but it was early days. Me going out and dating totally changed her view of me and me of myself. She said as painful as it is for her, me sleeping with Irish was necessary for us to reconcile. The first time my wife saw me was when I was performing with my band. That's what she fell in love with. Until we split. I hadn't performed in 2 years. Lately, I've been playing out again, which she said she misses so much. She's been craving to see me play live again. So, I'm taking her out tonight and playing live for her. We're really enjoying it. Go nil. Potato. She's a mess, yes. However, throughout this entire thing, even when we were separated, she professed her love for me. Now it's probably 10 or 20 times a day. No question, our marriage was extremely broken, and she has a lot of deep-seated emotional problems. But at this point, and for the past few weeks, it's been brutal honesty, constant communication, and a recognition by both of us of what was wrong with the marriage. She's always acknowledged her own problems, but we never did anything about them. We've both accepted responsibility for those shortcomings and are focused on fixing them, and we're doing pretty damn good. She ended the affair weeks before she left. She was trying to fill a void with this guy, and it didn't work. We do have 12 years married together, though, and for us and for our kids, I'm willing to try a genuine reconciliation. And so is she. If it doesn't work, so be it. But we're both trying and trying hard. I am not cautiously optimistic. At best, it's difficult work, and it's going to take a long time. Versus a mother counseling session tomorrow. And we are both reading and working through the steps and getting past the affair book. One thing that came out in therapy was this. The reason she gave for the affair was that she felt emotionally abandoned, that I didn't love her anymore, that when she asked me for those things and I said no, she took that as a rejection of her by me. It came out that the reason I rejected her was because I was resentful of the mistrust and cheating accusations for all those years. I pulled away. She said it hit her like a ton of bricks that I didn't in fact pull away. She pushed me away. She has owned this and it made her feel even worse. She also told me she has 100 accountability for the affair and that I was not at fault in any way. She sees that going for such a bottom-of-the-barrel pose was an indication of how she felt about herself. She's doing a lot of heavy lifting. She has another job interview this week and has applied to be a school bus driver. Like I said, very cautiously optimistic about her future. But I'm still ready to walk should she do anything to break my trust in any way. To counseling today. I brought up that I was having a real hard time with the flashbacks of her cheating. We talked about that a bit. She's doing good work. We are doing well, communicating a lot, being honest. However, the therapist pissed me off with a couple things. My wife was talking about dealing with my questions. For one, how could you do this to me? Then she looked at me and said, that makes it sound like you are a victim. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a ducking victim. I'm a victim of my wife's betrayal and infidelity. She, the therapist, also tried to shift the blame of her affair over to me, saying I contributed to it happening. I may have contributed to the state of our marriage, but I refused to take any blame for her affair. I also told her how I was flabbergasted by the fact that she put me at risk for steez, put my and my children's well-being in danger by ducking a jerk. How could she do that? Is there a reason the therapist would not want me to see myself as a victim? Am I not? My wife also said she's afraid she has broken me, and that I will never be able to really forgive her. Honestly, I don't know if I can. Right now, the betrayal is all-consuming, and I just don't see being able to get past it. My wife is doing everything right at this point in terms of ER. I just don't know if I have it in me to get past it, to forgive her. I want to, but can I? She's toast. I told my wife this morning I refuse to take any blame for the affair, and that I am most certainly a victim. She agreed and said she doesn't want me to take any blame for the affair. She's still at the bar. I told her she's not out right away. I'm out. She said before I can't do a desk job. Think crap. I said, if you really care about this family, you'll take anything you can get and not in a bar. Actions, not words. Let's see what she does now. I am in control here, not her. I hold the cards. If she doesn't put her money where her mouth is, I'll bail in a heartbeat. She left me before I found out about the affair. When I did find out, 4 days after her leaving, it was difficult. But now that I am with her again, and we are working at art, it's even harder than at first because I'm with her. When she was out of my life, it was way easier. Out of sight, out of mind. Now I am with her, and it's so very difficult. The flashbacks are far worse and more painful. Oh, easy way, damned if you do. The idea that this will never really go away is horrifying. She's at a job interview right now. She's down to 2 days a week at the other place. She has an appointment for Iki on Tuesday. So do I. Last night we went to my mom's for dinner. First time she's seen them since this went down. She got a little drunk as she was scared. We ended up in an argument. We planned to go out for Valentine's Day, and she brought up my folks babysitting the kids that night. She then pissed me off by saying you were going to forget to ask. This is the kind of stuff that's really important to us. Don't forget. Don't forget about this stuff. I lost it. I said she is in no position to ask me for anything right now. It got heated, and I told her to go to her friend's house. She sat on my lap and grabbed my face, yelled at me to fight for this, not to give up. But if I really want her to go, she will. She then told me that during our separation, the kids were the only thing that kept her from eating a gun. She is so damaged. I told her I felt trapped as I know she'd go off the deep end if I end it, and then I worry about the kids with her in that state. She just keeps saying she's going to spend the rest of her life making up for this. She's so thankful for this chance. Please let her make it up to me. She also said she needs lots of love from me, and that she knows it's unfair of her to ask anything of me right now. But she needs me to be strong for her. She told her mom she was going for AC, and her mom cried. She knows she needs help. I'm still really struggling. I go back and forth 1,000 times a day on whether to stay or not. She's so damaged. I do feel trapped. I know she'll go right back to self-destruct if I end it. Like me, how can I be expected to be the emotionally strong one right now? I want to R, but I'm still torn as to whether I can handle living with the betrayal. I do love her, and I love being with her. And by and large, we are doing well. She's really working hard. She definitely owns her issues and wants to get help. This is a therapist she had seen several times way back. She likes her a lot. This therapist is moving away soon, but we'll do Skype sessions. I told her again last night I'm on the edge, and I don't know what will happen. She says she will do anything to regain my trust, but she doesn't want me to live in fear. I don't want to live in fear or in anger. Unreal. We're 2 months from D-Day, 2 months and 4 days since she left me. She's put off and emotional that I'm not being romantic enough, that she needs to be treated like a princess and for me to gush all over her. Texting me from the bathroom that she's in tears. She's been super gushy, romantic, loving, sweet with me, but I can't reciprocate that this ducking instant. She apologizes for being so needy, but she is. Few months since this went down, back together for one, and I'm expected to be a hopeless romantic. We've been hysterical bonding, and she said she thought sex and romance go hand in hand. But now, I'm still hurting. 6 weeks into her, she is so different, back to her happy self. She's struggling with being happy because she feels guilty about it. Doesn't think she deserves to be happy. I keep telling her it's okay. She's doing AC and gets a lot out of it. She told me that back when she was seeing this therapist 3 or 4 years ago, she told her about her fears of my cheating and the accusations. Apparently, the therapist told her, you were going to drive him to sleep with someone else. Sure enough, she did, after she slept with someone else. She's quit her job and found another one 5 minutes from home. She accounts for all her time and makes sure to ask me if anything is happening out of our routine. Possum has moved far away. The pain of the infidelity is not as razor sharp as before. It's slowly fading. I made the decision to try and forgive and be happy. We are doing very well, and she showers me with love, affection, and compliments. I am slowly starting to show her the affection she always wanted and taking care of her most important emotions, most important emotional needs. We are still having sex every night, and it's incredible. She's very anxious to put it behind us and start our new marriage, but she understands that I'm not yet where she is. This is still fresh for me. One thing she reminded me of that made it a little easier for me to forgive is that when she asked me for those 3 things months back, more affection, occasional flowers, and help around the house. Not only did I say no, but I also told her to leave and go to her mom's house 2 hours away at night in the rain. I was quite brutal. She said that's when the shift happened and she gave up on the marriage. I blocked out my terrible treatment of her. I asked her why she didn't leave me before she cheated. She admitted she was afraid I'd kick her out and take the kids. No excuse, but she was honest about it. She tells me every day she will spend the rest of her life making this up to me, how proud she is of me, and she can't believe how strong, loving, and kind I am for giving her another shot. So things look good and I am optimistic. I am still, and always will be ready to leave instantly if she betrays me again. She keeps saying she'll die before she hurts me again, and that if I walk out tomorrow, she'd be devastated but would understand. Fix anyway. I'm cautiously optimistic. And I see how messed up our marriage was. I truly believe we will be better and stronger. In many ways we already are. Just wanted to give you folks an update, and just when I think everything was going to be okay. In searching for answers, I downloaded all of our texts to each other since May or so. Watching the entire thing unfold was surreal. Last night, she admitted that she often got off work early, like midnight, and would be out without a time. She always told me she closed. That's why she would get home at 4:30 a.m. One giant source of tension between us was that she was always exhausted, sleep-deprived, and this turned her into a bee. I always let her sleep in as late as she wanted, all day on the weekends, and I took care of the kids. She would always bark, "Don't expect me to be all perky on no sleep." Now, I find out her exhaustion was brought on by lies, deceit, and worrying around. I also realized all the time she said she had too many drinks after work and was staying at her girlfriend's, that she was out ducking around with OMDL. I also saw how loving I was, and her to me in these texts, and it was all bullcrap on her part. She begged me not to read the transcripts as she knew it would make me angry. But I was compelled. Now she senses something is wrong. I loathe this from her. I pray you can learn to trust me. I would have told you while we were apart. What do I have to lose? Nothing. I had lost all I had, or was. But keeping anything from you, then or now. It's weird to live so truthfully but refreshing. Thank you. You didn't deserve what I did. I'll never forgive myself for hurting you that way. It's real heavy on my heart. She is so insecure. She feels how tenuous this all is. I do too, as although I feel we are attempting a genuine R, I do have one foot out the door at all times. She's trying so hard. She still apologizes every day, cries, and begs me not to leave her. Please don't hurt me like I hurt you. She doesn't want to go out in public at all. She used to be super social because she can't bear to face people. Her guilt and shame are overwhelming. It also caused a huge fallout. With her family, my family has been forgiving because I'm trying to be her sister, won't talk to her. She apologized to all her friends and most of them have forgiven her. But the consequences have been severe. Her sister and her have never had conflict. Her sis is the softest, most gentle person I know. And she is pissed alienated and deceived not just me, but everyone in her life. She's been talking about suicide. She keeps pleading with me to stay, but doesn't want to make me miserable. She just wants me to be happy. She could not be more remorseful, but that doesn't change what she did. I'm still in limbo, I guess, and I still have no control over what I feel. From one minute to the next, we decided to take a trip together. We've never done that. We are going to Sandals in Cuba. My mom and Pia called up the other day and said, "We are going to treat you to this vacation." Wow. So kind. She is such a damaged person. I was snooping through her Facebook messages and found a thread that actually made me feel a little better for the rest of my life. I'm going to prove to Aaron that what I did was because I thought he didn't love me, not that I ever stopped loving him. She's right back where she was with the insecurity and like self-esteem. I actually feel more like the WS as opposed to the BS in terms of the work I'm having to do to keep her from losing it. I resent that. And I don't have the capacity right now to do the heavy lifting for her. She keeps saying she knows, and I know I'd be better off without her. And I won't get past this. I think about the length of the affair, at least 6 months, and the deception, being tired and sleeping all day because she was working late when in fact she had other people take her shift, and she went out and ducked a guy in the bathroom, and his truck. She potentially exposed me to steeds over and over. I would race home every night after work, never go out, so I could get home so she wouldn't fear I was cheating for years. Meanwhile, she's cheating, taking off work, racking up 45 Kelvin in debt, sleeping all day while I take care of the kids, and constantly justifying her behavior by saying she's so tired from work. How can I ever get pat that I can't? And I realize now I am only trying her for the kids. If they weren't in the picture, I'd be going, "Oh boy, I don't think I want to do this." She absolutely is manipulating me, and this is and always has been all about her. I need to be away from her right now to really think about what's best for me. I have not been doing that at all. I have not once done anything during R for myself. I've only thought about her and my kids. Now she's holding me hostage. Emotionally, this is awful. I'm going to end it. I'm going to meet with my parents today to figure out how and what the best course of action is. I talked to my mom, and she says she can see it's going to tear me down, and how unhealthy we are. I am not doing what's in my best interest. I know that now. I am going to say, we need to separate, that I need time on my... But honestly, she is so broken. The betrayal is so deep. I can't fix her. I'm fooling myself. The marriage was duct taped together before me holding it together for the both of us because she is so damaged. Now I'm broken to two broken parents. It's not going to work. Perhaps I won't seal the door shut, but I need to close it, at least for a while. But I just know it will fall back to what it was if I don't take care of myself and my own needs. I'm going to crash. And that will be worse for my kids than having their parents split. This is going to be hard, but it's hard right now and sustainable the way things are. She spent 3 or 4 hours begging and pleading for another chance. I kept saying no. She begged for more time to go to therapy for her issues and to start exercises. She was way more stable when she was working out. She says she realizes her behavior the past couple of days was back to crazy town, and she's going to stop doing that to me. I said she has to, or I am gone. I'll give her a bit of time to get her emotions under control and for her to get back to heavy lifting. She was doing really good up until a couple of days ago when her insecurities turned her crazy on. We'll see what happens. I'm so exhausted, overwhelmed. Any road I take is going to be a hard road. My kids are so scared of us splitting. It was a wild ride. She's going to get a place around here so the kids can stay in the same school. I'm going to keep the house. We've talked a lot, and she fought really hard at first, then relented. She's sad but says she has some relief, as she was living every second waiting for me to leave, and the guilt was eating her alive. I told her I can forgive her now, and she told me to let go of the pain and anger and that she only wants happiness for me. We agreed to be loving friends and parents, but we both acknowledged the marriage is over. My kids know. I talked to both of them. They will be okay, surrounded by love and my soon-to-be ex-wife, and I will treat each other with kindness and respect. Bittersweet indeed. So far, she's still accepting and we're being totally civil. My kids are having a hard time. My boy is like me and feels stress in his stomach. I hate that. My daughter is very distraught and insecure. We meet Friday to hash out the logistics. Going to be a hard road. I spent 15 years being 110 devoted to my wife, constantly defending myself against cheating accusations. I gave up my social life. I couldn't even go to a work function after 5 because it would be 2 days of accusations and nastiness. If I was 2 minutes past 6 getting home, crap would hit the fan. I was so patient and understanding. I did everything in my power to put her mind at ease, bringed it to no avail. I stopped going out to make music. I ditched my friends. I let her sleep all weekend while I looked after the kids. All my time was 100 accounted for, and I still was a cheater in her eyes. It was awful. At the time she asked me for those things, I was angry, frustrated, and not willing to be a doormat anymore. I was emotionally exhausted and resentful. I was 100 faithful to my wife for 15 years. All one slip. I simply wasn't willing to do anymore because no matter what I did or didn't do, it wasn't enough. She told me she resented my career. She didn't want to share me with my family. She suffocated me and badgered me endlessly about things that just weren't happening. A guy can only stand that so long. I loved her, protected her, defended her, supported her, and did everything I could to tame the beast that lived inside her. Then she leaves me via text on my daughter's birthday and eventually admits to ducking this angel for 6 months. She's found a place to live, starting April 1st. We are on good terms and she is still doing right by the kids. Even as recently as last night, she was texting me, wanting to come home. I didn't answer. I am free. It's going to be hard. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be painful, but I am happy and my conscience is clear. I'm just back from sex down. It was a very healing trip for me. I let go of a lot of anger and have started to forgive. But I do not want her as my wife. I'm living my life again. My children have a father who is more present now. I am still a friend to my Stevieoxu. We are working together. She is still so very sorry and I see how wounded she is. It's in her eyes. It's right there, but she was right from the start of this. I'm not a man who can ever get past infidelity. I don't want to be married to someone who would cause my children and me so much pain. She sees what she threw away and she hates herself for it. I can forgive, but we will never reconcile. I deserve better. She's found a place and is moving out April 1st. I taken back my house, put all my guitars up in the living room, taken down all her photos and books and turned the living room into a music haven. My kids are digging it. 3 months later update. I have ups and downs. I'm still dating, but learning that I'm not ready for an actual relationship. I'm finding the ladies I've dated tend to want more than I'm ready to give. I am a dude with a lot of baggage after all. The SPFWW still has the separation agreement and has not signed. She admitted she's putting it off. Sundays, when she comes to get the kids, are still so hard. It does not get easier saying goodbye to them. I still have them Wednesday to Sunday. I'm no longer allowed to work from home Fridays. So the ex wants me to take them Sunday nights now. Great, Mom. Pin. So she has them Monday and Tuesday, yet I pay $13 per month in child support. But looking at the SBX now, I'm just utterly astounded at what white trash she is. And how dumb she is. I'm not saying this out of anger. It's the truth. Can't recall if I posted this before, but a few weeks back, she told me she went to see the exam on the advice of her therapist to get closure. She then sat across from me while the kids played and told me how proud of him she is, because he's trying to clean up his life. This is the type of person she is. I was flabbergasted. She then asked me to take the kids on Sunday night because the therapist told her she needed to go have some fun, but didn't want to ask her parents to watch them as she didn't want to put them out. Then, she likes the ex on Facebook posts. My favorite was a pic of him and a buddy showing fingers, and the caption was 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink. This is the kind of thing she finds compelling and interesting. I'm still off of Zoloft, 4 months now and doing well. Financially, I'm screwed, but my folks are going to help me, thankfully. They rock. The SPX still always says she knows I still love her. Look, I don't even like you, let alone love you. I barely tolerate her, for duck's sakes. I still wake up every morning, and am just bewildered and astonished this all went down. I'm definitely still angry and disgusted, but I know how much better I am without her. What a toxic person she is, how damaged, stupid and selfish she is. She is white trash personified. I am not. As soon as my daughter is around her, she gets emotional, needy, and whiny, silly and sweet. My son is angry, but he knows on some level it's his mom who's messed up. I'm generally happy and calm, but I have triggers. Like when my kids are suffering because of the breakup, and when the STX does stupid things like praise her or ask me to take the kids on her day so she can party. So, I guess I'm kind of the same. When I get down, I just remind myself how much better off I am without her. She asked me to take her back as recently as 2 weeks ago. I looked at her and said no. The more I date, the more I realize I want to be alone right now. 1 month update. This Sunday got the better of me. The ex came to get the kids. We were playing catch in the backyard. She normally stays for a beer and a brief chat. This time, she stayed longer. She is supposed to sign the separation and divorce agreement tomorrow, and my daughter was using delayed tactics to extend the visit. The ex sat beside me and put her foot on mine. The kids were confused maybe, but enjoying the family time. It's a struggle for me. I am cold but not mean. I know she's in pain, and I am showing her kindness. It's my instinct as it's better for the kids and better for me. Bridge isn't good. The longer it went on, the more emotional she got and the harder a time I had being strong. My eyes got watery at some point when my daughter asked something that squeezed my heart. My son instantly noticed and said, "Your eyes are watering? Are you crying? Why, Dad?" The ex tried to reason, saying, "Well, it's hard for all of us, blah blah," and he got angry and said, "Don't remind me, Mom." Last night, he melted down in my arms, and today I'm crying and he doesn't shed a drop and is all brave and stoic. I grabbed my kids and held them tight and cried. This is so hard on them and confusing and painful. She looked right at my son and said, "I'm sorry," and he blew it off. Angry, hurt, confused. I loathe her for this, but I can't let it come through. And I achy for my kids. It twists me up inside and out. She finally said, "Do you need me to go?" I said yes. I was crumbling. As soon as that door shut, I was a puddle, darn it. Will Sundays ever stop hurting so bad? I started a song about it though. Another Sunday breaks my heart. At least there's that. Half a year later, final update. The past few weeks have been a little shaky. I've been overwhelmed with life a bit. The SBCU still shows very little sign of growing up. Although her bar closed down recently and they moved her to the other location. Amazingly, she quit and has accepted another job, being a manager at another bar. This will potentially mean less child support I have to pay as she will make more on paper. However, I am potentially getting a raise soon, so that could mean nothing. The job is out of town, and she initially decided on her own that she would move the kids to make her commute easier. I put the kibosh on that and informed her she legally can't move them out of school without my consent. She changed her tune, for now, and is making said commute. Time will tell if this is a step in the right direction for her. I won't hold my breath. She's still the queen of bad, stupid decisions. She still tries to engage with me constantly, and I do not engage back. I've lightened up a little bit, and am not as cold as I was. This octane for me than her, as I find it difficult to maintain my hostility. It's exhausting. She was served divorce papers earlier this month. I have 2 bands going now, both gigging. The one is really taking off, and I may have to bail at some point, as I'm not willing to hit the road and give up my career. Financial security is more important than my artistic endeavors. It has to be for my kids. I am still writing, producing, and have a couple of tunes that are written that I'm really psyched about. I'm learning new techniques all the time with my playing. I'm still casually seeing one gal and have started putting the feelers out and have a couple of other dates lined up. I started doing push-ups again. I stopped during the holidays, and I intend to start lifting weights again. I need to keep my anxiety, stress, and anger under control. I am still working on letting go of my anger, and mostly I'm good, but sometimes it rears its ugly head, particularly when the STFU does something stupid that affects me or the kids. Life is definitely a challenge, but I am still happier than when I was with her, and so are my kids. My daughter is dealing with some anxiety panic, though. It's stuff like that that brings up my anger towards the ex. She's the cause of that turmoil. It's still a bit of a roller coaster. My comment, hope you guys like this 2-year story. Shows what a man has to go through for the kids. I know most people here just say divorce the wife this and that, but the truth is, some men just want a mother for their kids, that's it. Have you been in this situation before? Comment down below, sub and bell, and let's continue to learn something from these stories.